Hello, chat. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. It's Monday. Holy fuck.
Penis.
Penis?
What? It hasn't even been 10 seconds.
Penis.
I'm here to get TT demonetized.
Wow, Angel doesn't like money.
Fuck the system. Fuck capitalism.
Here's Herbal. Sorry, I have food in my mouth. Hello, Arba. How are you today? Hello, Mysteria. How are you? I have food in my mouth. Sorry.
I have food in my mouth.
ASMR.
That pretzel crunch and ASMR. So this is Herbal. He's
A menace.
a harbinger of death.
He's possibly the most deadly pal we've ever encountered.
Yeah, he's fucking crazy. I can't even like go and catch pals and have him by my side because he will just annihilate them. Which makes it really difficult to find things, so I usually have to switch to like a baby pal. Look at this one that Angel got me. That's the wrong button. Look at this. Ah! It's so fluffy! Oh, it's so cute. You can't even see its little eyes. Its little piece. Oh! He said, fuck that flambell, I guess. Okay, alright, well, let me just... let me set you to defensive. Let's not be so aggressive. Ew. The day's going, it's hot. It's summer.
It is pretty hot today.
And I hate it. I hate summer. I hate being sweaty. I hate being hot. It's, ugh. We're looking for a Bushi Noct, but I have to wait until nighttime every time in order to go look for him. But I haven't seen one yet, but this is one of his habitat areas. Let me double check on the map again. Yeah. But all I'm seeing, like, that's a normal Bushi, but I think it's almost daytime now. Night goes too fast. That's a normal Bushi, but I want a Bushi Noct. That way he can stay awake and work on things. Look at this little guy fucking jumping and dancing and skipping. Precious. Oh, what all do we need for the altar?
I have no idea.
Angel, you're able to make it, right? Because I'm not on that level.
Oh, it's no longer an ancient technology. I guess it's new. Let me...
Technology?
Technology.
It needs 100 stone and 20 palladium fragments.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, they're meant because they are destroyed after use, so they're...
Ah.
Oh. Is there a way we can throw one down? I need to find a teleport. Hold on. Oh, I gotta go back up the mountain. Are you kidding me? Oh, no. We're going back. Oh, up.
We're going up!
Oh, I'm falling. Up. No, please. Oh, is that an egg? I guess we're taking an egg with us. Alright, we're okay. Where's the teleport? Where's... Looking that way? There's an egg over there. There's 2 eggs. Maybe we'll get these eggs. I was watching the Palworld VOD when I could have been watching in real time. Shame. Welcome to the real time. Unless we're on YouTube right now, then welcome to the VOD.
Welcome to VOD.
Oh, my bag is full. I can't take this egg. I did not drop off any of the supplies in my pocket. Great. I'm doing wonderful. Whee! I'm on
Doing your
my
best.
way. That's all I can do. Okay.
Except for Herbal, who's doing too much.
Herbal's doing way too much. Yes. Oh my gosh. We have keep inventory on because I die a lot and I don't want to have to panic and try and run to get my things again. So that's a whole lot more inventory space. Is it? I feel like my fucking I need more packs. Herbal's doing amazing. He is until it's overkill. Then a little less amazing. Let's see. Put this in there and this. What else needs to go in there? He's making sure the job is done. You're right, actually. If he does anything, he makes sure he gets...
Gungaga.
Why was there so much Gungaga? What the... What was that? Why was there so many Gungaga? I feel like every time that specific one plays, there's more to it.
Well, you see, the lore of Final Fantasy VII is that there are multiple timelines.
Oh no!
True.
Each time it plays, another timeline gets added.
Goon, 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 ga, 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 ga.
Oh god.
How many Zacks are still alive?
I don't know if we have space here to put it down.
We may have to do it on Lavender Base.
Oh, then we gotta move stuff.
We can just delete it afterwards as well, though.
I mean, well, yeah, but we gotta rebuild the bench, and that took a while to build. It was a pain in the butthole.
Oh, well, then I guess we're just gonna have to bite the bullet and make some room real quick.
Can we set it on this bridge?
How big is it?
Uh,
Oh, that's not too big.
sphere.
I think if we...
Is it allowed
think-
on wood, or does it need to be on the ground?
I don't think it needs to be on the ground. I think if we get Gobfin out of there, I think it'll be fine.
Here, let me grab him.
Okay, but then this guy comes in.
Chat, I'm sorry for my frame rate. My PC's trying. It's trying. Oh, the upper level. Oh, there's the merchant. Oh, up here. Godfin, I'm sorry. Okay, I got him.
You gotta move out of the way, though.
Yeah, I got him. I'm moving.
It looks like perhaps there's something still there. Let me...
I just put Godfin. Oh, God. Go over here, sir. There you go. Go. Is there room up there? Was there still not room? Oh no. Oh god. Huge. We appreciate your PC putting in max effort. It really is. This fucking don't even get me started about my PC. Ow.
So I've been doing a lot of cooking. Everyone seems to be good. I set another pal to make medicine. So pals can automatically apply medicine to themselves.
Mm.
I regret to inform you, all floors must be touching the ground.
Okay, why don't we just put it in the grass over here? There's some reasonable grass right there.
Even if it's slightly out of the base, it still technically counts. And then you can just destroy it immediately.
Slapped PC in the butt. This whole thing got me through a lot. Honestly, it has. This thing has been Frankenstein to hell and back from a PC I got almost more than 10 years ago.
Isn't that like Theseus's ship? Is it the same computer?
I don't even know, dog. I don't even know. There's still not enough space.
It's too hilly.
Oh god. We're, maybe we just need to build it at Lavender. Are we making any spears here?
Not right now, no.
Okay.
Making the Pallium to do it.
I will dismantle it and then rebuild it.
But you don't have an improved furnace yet.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong place.
Oh. Oh. I'm way down. I'm carrying too much. Wait, can I still teleport?
I think so.
Oh, thank goodness. I know some games, like, you got too much in your pocket, they're like, no teleporting for you, sorry.
Skyrim.
Yeah. Oh gosh. What is happening? Why are you stuck in the fucking... What? It's gone!
What?
The cow! Did he just die? Oh! Milk! Did it just die? Did my cow just fucking die? No, he's right there. He was stuck in the side of the building, and then there was just a glass of milk. He disappeared.
He's in the ranch, right?
He's back near the fucking, whatchamacallit, the PAL stand. What the fuck just happened? Get in there. Thought you died. Goodness. Guanqua, hello! Okay. Can I... What is it? Infrastructure? No, what is it? It's in production.
Production.
Oh, it's so long. There. He has the power of glass of milk. Oh my god, it says it's gonna take 3 minutes to build this thing. Which isn't a long time, but it's also a long time. In video games. Who do I have on me can build? Can you build? Can you build, little guy? Are you a builder? Oh, he can hammer. Oh, Daydream, what are you doing? Why are you throwing it back on him like that? Why are you doing that? Stop. He's trying to work. Daydream's like, oh yeah, we'll work on this. Goodness.
I'm working too.
Crazy. Just start handing squirrels some hammers. Honestly, that's what we do. Just here you go, little guy. This is a hammer. Now smack that thing over there. If you're hungry, go to the food box. Then get back to work. 40 seconds, we're almost there. Twerking real hard. That's hard work.
Twerking hard or hardly twerking?
Hardly twerking's crazy.
That's what white people do.
Oh my god. Alright, we're almost there. Good job, team and Daydream. Oh, your pal's just beating you in the head.
Yeah.
Oh!
He's fixing me.
Just smacking the hell out of you. We did it. We are gamers. Now, no one start working.
Yep.
Boom.
Let's go. Now we can make large pal bed, a refrigerator, and a metal chest. Those are easy.
Yeah, I'll be honest. The refrigerator is not the one we've already built, but
No, we need this
the
one,
bigger one.
which I can build right now.
But hold on, before you do, I already have a refined metal chest at the other base.
Is it out? Well, it's the big one, right?
Yeah, the tall one.
Yeah, okay. We can just drop it there.
Yeah, if you can just go build the fridge over there, then that would be great.
Is it the bottom one or the top one?
Bottom one.
Okay.
That's where I built it for the schematics, remember?
Daydream is immoral support.
Immoral support?
Immoral support by just twerking on him.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Who said that? I want to give him
Wisteria.
Wisteria. You're pretty good.
Hey
That's
guys,
pretty
come build this thing, please. Thank you.
Just the fucking fridge.
Yeah. You know what we need to build this? The power of friendship. Or they could just leave and go build that bed over there.
Well, it's helpful.
We're doing it, team. We're doing it. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Innovation. No breathing. The bed is consuming you.
Honestly, I hope.
Oh, okay. The bed gets done and he's just stuck there. You're just now a bed.
Find out.
Oh.
Nope, it just pops me on top.
Alright. Well, that's next level. Great. No. We need 3 large pal beds.
Oh.
Shit.
Okay.
So here's another one. And here's another one. Great. I feel like more than one pal should be able to sleep on these.
It's the big house.
That's true.
You want a fucking mammoth to sleep on a tiny little
They
pile
do.
of straw?
They do.
I know.
And then
I know.
little pals will come and steal the big beds, and I'm just like, that's not for you.
Just like real animals.
Exactly. All right, 3rd bed. Everyone's hammering away. Like a chihuahua stealing a husky-sized bed. Yeah. Yeah.
I need 100 hardwood.
How do you get hardwood?
I don't know. It's new to 1.0.
Heard.
Hard.
Hard.
All right. Base upgraded. Angel can now have her base. Oh, electric kitchen. Easy.
You already have one.
I'd have to go bring it here. Or, what's the thing? A guild chest. Oh, I have a guild chest at
Yeah, you have that
Lavender,
already.
right?
You can go and upgrade it right now.
Why does it not have it registered then?
You have to go to your base to do it.
Oh. Oh, I left the beds.
You did.
Sorry.
You left the beds on this fridge.
Assembly line 2 and electric medicine bench.
All right.
Let me come get...
We are now at the point where we have to level up more to be able to press. Angel might be able to make those things, but...
Okay, I'm back. Oops.
Did you just smack my power box?
I hit it with an arrow.
I can't believe you would do this.
Why are you still hitting the bed? Stop that. Oh, he's mining somehow. Okay, well.
I don't want him to mine.
Well, you get some softwood. Ah, and then you turn it into hardwood. You're right. You're right, actually. That makes sense.
Yeah, you rub it up and down a few times.
You gotta get the friction going.
You get some soft wood, and then you, like, spit on it. And then you,
I
like,
don't think you do that.
you rub your hand on it a bit. Whisper in its ear.
You grab it by the throat and you tell it who's boss. Okay.
Alright, I know what I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna put my base.
Do
But
it.
it's gonna require precision. It's gonna require me not fucking dying. It's gonna require a lot for me.
Would you like
in
me
order
to
set it up.
come along with Herbal?
Sure. If you would
Nothing
like.
will kill you. You will live. Let me put this stuff away. Real quick. Oh, we got some potatoes growing. That's great.
It's just a Gumos walking through my base.
He's checking it out. Bodyguard Herbal. That's honestly what he is.
I will meet you at the dry sandy beach watchtower.
Okay. I will figure out where that is. Oh, I need to make a bed real quick.
The dry sandy beach.
Goom ass.
Goom ass!
It is a goom ass.
Got that goom ass.
Oh, part of my building fell off. Well, shit. Oh gosh. There we go. Oh, 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 oh. There we go. Oh, they can't even get upstairs anymore. Uh-oh. I might have to move this. Whoops. We'll put that there for now. We might have to move the pal house. How goes the paling? It be going. We are innovating, we are building, we are farmers. Dun 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 dun.
You're right.
We thank you. They happen sometimes. Sometimes. Not always.
Why are you
I'm on fire. Why am I dying?
Did you not equip the multi-climate undershirt?
I didn't even make one. Ever.
So you did all of that work to get the schematics for one.
I forgot.
It's really funny.
I put it in the thing and I was like, yay, we did it. And then that was
really
it.
funny.
Anyway.
Girl, go make
Oh, but I just got here.
Well, go back.
Oh, man. Now, why
Really
aren't
funny.
you in uniform? Where do I make one? I can make one at one of these tables. This shirt. Build. Work. Actually, let's get a pal out. Someone who can help me. Help me.
Help.
Help. This shirt. It's taking so long to build.
Build?
Create. Sew.
Craft?
Craft.
Is that the word you're looking
There
for?
we go. Craft. I was like, something.
There's a word here I'm looking for.
There is a word. Don't know what it is, but there is one. It's out there somewhere. As I choke and die. Don't worry, almost there. It's got a fourth of the way there. Help me. Help me.
Help me! Help me!
All right. Oh, shirt's almost done. Great. Now, how do I put the fucking shirt on? Where does it go? Oh, it goes there. It's an accessory. Oh, my mercy ring. Oh, I need more accessory slots. Heck. Well, it doesn't matter. We got the shirt on. That's what matters. One sleeve at a time. Okay, I'm here and I'm okay. Oh, okay.
Hey!
Hello. Alright, where are we going? Oh!
Very good. Okay.
Ah, yes. Very good.
Are we going to that island over there?
Yep.
Oh, fuck. I'm scared.
You should be.
I'm
very
gliding
dangerous.
down so smoothly, but you are just like having a time in the sky on my screen. You
Oh my god, I'm looking at your stream. Yes, I am.
you look like you're experiencing some turbulence. Ow. My legs. Ah, fuck, I gotta swim. Oh, I should have brought my fish. You could ride on the fish in the water. Well, if I go down, Herbal will be able to save me. What the fuck is that on the water? Did you just see that?
Yeah, I
What
did.
the fuck was that?
Where'd it go?
I'm scared now. We're out here with it. Whatever the fuck that was.
Maybe it was a flack? Like a flack ignice?
Yeah, it could have been. That was weird.
Water.
Get in the water. Oh, I forgot there was fast swimming.
Why is your inventory that full?
Who?
Yours.
Anyway. With hope, it's a tentacle monster, pal. Well, let's go find out. I couldn't imagine swimming this much.
Same. Well, I mean, I almost did. I was really into swimming when I was a kid. I even had like professional swimming lessons.
I didn't have
I really
lessons,
love
but I did
swimming.
like swimming. But after a while, I feel like, alright, I'm just gonna float here.
I just really fucking love swimming, man.
I'm almost there.
I'm on my way.
I'm on my way. What is that on the beach? That big... Is it a rock? I think it's a rock.
Yep, that's hexalite.
Okay, I was like, what is that big fluffy thing over there? I did not mean to call you out, but I'm so sorry. Oh, excuse me. Oh, it's one of those thingies. I love their necks.
Yeah, that's about 10 levels above me, so
Don't worry.
Herbal's got this.
Herbal's got this. Alright, buddy. Where are you? Get out of the water! Oh, I forgot you're in defensive mode. Hold on. Hey, don't run away! You're surrounded. Oh, slow. Herbal, calm down! Oh, I teleported. Shit. Maybe Herbal doesn't have this. I think Herbal maybe doesn't have. Oh, nice hit! Do you want to try and throw a ball at it?
I can try it, yeah.
Don't you?
Okay, well, I just completely missed. Well, we need better spears.
Okay, well
So-
maybe we should kill it.
Yeah, it should die.
Sorry, dude. What'd you drop though? A rock. I guess they drop rocks.
I really want my base here, but it may be too high level for us.
Well, we're already here.
That's true. You should get this.
Oh
before you
shit,
get-
yeah. Also, Moshi, welcome to stream. How are you today? I hope you're doing good. We got it. Oh, there's an egg. The big ass egg. Egg. There was an egg over here too. Let me grab this egg. If I don't fill up my pockets already. Egg.
Eggy.
I think I have several in my pocket already.
I have several bees.
I have I have several eggs in places you would never expect. Damn, bud. I don't even know what some of these attacks are. Jesus. A Gelroy.
Moon Racer's going.
Yeah. Must be weak against other dark type. Dead.
Good job. Let me pet you.
Oh, whoops. Fuck, I hate that I do that every time. I've wasted so many PAL spears. I thought I was already following. I've popped in a few times now, but now it's official. Ah. I've been following your rigging journey. Oh gosh. That mess. Oh. One day I will be better.
It's not a mess. It's a journey.
There's a lot of potholes in this journey. I had a flat tire too. Go, bud. I'm gonna call him Agave.
Agave is a pretty good name.
Get him, Agave. You gotta turn around, bud. Alright, well that's dead. Oh, I can get on my bird.
What I need this to do includes going further in and, well...
Let's go! Woo!
Alright!
You all need to get one of these birds. They're fucking crazy. What's that thing? It'll probably kill us, but it looks pretty. You see it?
I think those are ones are... A Celestia are non-hostile.
Oh, okay, great. That over there. What are you? What is that floating thing?
Oh, that's
That's a
just
gloopy, okay. Oh, that thing's tail looks cool.
Better run.
Running's what I do best. Woo!
You're going so fast that my side of the server cannot keep up.
Oh,
You were like teleporting.
sorry. These birds are great. Oh! Oh! What? What just happened? Thank you, Herbal.
You got murdered by a knife girl. Splatterina.
Where did my chicken go? Hey, buddy.
TT, I think we need to turn back.
What? You don't want to live here?
I think we're not high enough level for this.
Well, once we get there, it'll be fine, right?
Oh look, it's Jax from the Amazing Digital Circus.
Why are they wandering? Why are they built like that?
You know why. You know why.
I do.
Why are you even asking?
I don't
You know
know.
why.
I don't know. What is that thing? What are you? I'm sorry I even looked at you. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, this looks relatively safe down here. Oh, just kidding. What is that bird? Oh, we're fine. It's fine. We're okay. Some rocks on the ground. I like your chimkins shimmies. You do be shimmying. Look at that. Look at those moves. You be dancing. What is that pink thing running over? What is? There's so many critters here. Oh, it was teleport. Nice. Oh, too fast. Do not attack things! Get back here, you dumb bird! God. Nope, 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 nope. Goodness. Nope, stop, 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 behave. I lost Angel. A Bushi knocked.
I found
Fuck.
TT, that is level 57.
I know.
Follow me.
Okay.
Hey, Titi,
What's up?
can I ask about the froggy chair?
I thought it was cute. So I put it there.
Understood.
There's a weird space, so I was like, well, we can put Froggy Chair there.
Wait, this might be a dead end. I thought it was a way through.
Why would they make a cave like this just for it to be a dead end? That's so rude.
Oh, yep. It is a dead end, technically.
What the fuck?
That is level 62.
Oh,
That is a no-no.
good day. Let us be on our way.
That's a big no-no
Well-
right there. A lot of no-nos on this island.
There's quite a bit here. Alright, we're going. Oh, Jesus. Too fast. I lost Angel. Oh, shit.
I'm trying to find so we don't have to climb. There's usually ways through.
Maybe they added some of those jump things, like an Elden Ring. Or maybe not? What the hecky? Usually they'll have some kind of airlift.
Well, I found a path.
Well, that works too.
Just kidding.
Okay, there's gotta be like an airstream somewhere. Oh, my plump bird, come on.
Oh, my plump bird.
Oh, my plump bird, come on.
Oh, my plump bird.
Oh, my big baps.
Oh, me big bops.
Looks like it keeps going up this way.
I already dropped down.
Oh, well. I'm gonna run and check it out. It looks pretty safe up here. I'm not seeing any pals, really. I don't know if it leads to where you want to go, but... I'm so fucking fast. The game can't even keep up. Look at me go. Meow. A rock. Don't mind if I do. Oh yeah, the pals just didn't load in. Uh-oh. Where was Angel? Oh fuck, what did I do? Let's go, bud! Woo! Look at us fucking go! What is gravity? Fuck gravity. Woo! Big chimkin! This is base bird, which is crazy. He just
Base bird?
this is just base bird. He's just built like this. He just built this way.
Base bird, more like based bird.
Base bird.
Based.
I almost jumped off a cliff. Smoky. Oh, that's what those little things are called. Smoky. I like the quack sounds they make. Like little fun little duck sounds.
Oh, hello. You caught up to me quick.
Hey.
You said that. You went Neum at the exact same time that a Mimog fucking ran right past me. It was really fucking funny. It was zooming so fucking fast.
It's like I'm fast as fuck, boy.
You did it again!
Oh. Me and Mimog are just the same. Another
You're
Bushi.
twinning.
Oh, we're going so fast! Jesus Christ!
Winning with Mimog.
Oh, I don't know if we're supposed to go this fast. Has anyone else gotten this bird in game? I need someone to... Oh, what is happening?
Yeah, please corroborate the
No,
speed of...
my chicken!
I can't remember the name of it. I know it's
Palumba.
something... Palumbo?
Palumbo? Palumba?
Palumbo.
Palumba. There's an A at the end.
Palumba.
Palumba.
Someone corroborate the power of Columba.
Does anyone else have a Palumba? What do they be doing on your side? They be schmoving?
Yo, do they be moving?
I know they be shimmying. Look at this guy. Look at him. He's just happy to be here. Since I ran into a tree. Hello.
Hello.
Ooh. Are you hungry, my guy? Do you need food? I have food in the pocket thing.
PT, come pick up this this sphere.
One sec, I have a hard time jumping. Ugh. Great. An ultimate sphere. Oh, cool. Are these just on the ground here?
Yep.
Crazy.
Me and TT exploring worlds unknown.
Oh,
Well,
are you a
through TT.
pale frog? What happened to you? Oh, he's a knocked. He's like a little... I don't even know what to call him. Marshmallow.
If the men find out we can shapeshift, they're
They're going to tell the church. This island's crazy.
Oh, that's a big no-no. Try to avoid that.
What? That thing?
Yeah, Kitsune knocked.
Okay.
I mean, it's easy for you. You're faster.
I was about to say, let me run right into it. Let me just... Ah, another Bushi. Look. Booshy.
Booshi.
Booshy.
Booshi.
Hydrate, I will. Oh shit, where'd you go? Oh shit, what's that? Ah, fuck. What is everything around me? Alright. Can we jump over you? Oh, you're running away. Okay, cool. You're not mean, I guess, if you're running away. Oh, they're running away. Oh, that's a stream. Okay. There we go. Rock. Is there a certain spot you're looking for?
Yes.
Okay. Why do my frames in OBS look better than my frames in game? What the fuck is going on there? What the hell? Crazy. It do be big game. Big game. Scorched Hill.
It's definitely worth the $30 price. If anything, they could have charged more for the amount of content that's in it.
Nowadays, they could have charged anything. Because you're too pretty to frame drop? Oh, that's very sweet of you. As I probably like. I love this big fucking bird. So silly. He's just here to have a good time.
I'm glad you like your bird. I like your bird too.
He probably has ADHD too. He can't sit still. He doesn't know what's going on half the time, but he's here.
He's here and he's queer.
He's here, queer, and having a good time. What is that? Oh, that's a dog. That's a dog. We can't pet that dog.
There's an effigy here.
No. I'm coming. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Are you okay?
I'm being attacked.
Oh. Oh. No, attack. I need to get down.
Oh, that was close.
Maybe we should skedaddle.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Nope, bird. Thank you.
In case of base raid, I'm building a machine gun on
Oh,
top of the base.
release the god hamster. I do be loving my herbal. He is a menace, though. What are you? What is that thing?
That's a dark and grass type.
Prunelia. I don't even know if I'm saying that right.
Cornelia.
Prunelia. Perineum.
Perennium?
Do you know what that word means?
I know what that word means.
Well, we might have to do some climbing.
Ah, fuck. No! Chicken! Stop! Stop it.
No, chicken.
My chicken! He doesn't know when to stop.
Yep.
He's being silly. Billing?
He's billing.
Billing?
He's billing it straight to my bank account.
I'm going up the rock. Rock time.
Yep.
Push more.
Yep. Yep.
Get a little bit of strength back. We're going again. We're going again. We're going again.
Yep.
Almost there.
Yep.
Oh, excuse me.
Yep.
Oh, we going. Oh, we going.
Yep.
Wait a minute, you're riding a giant chick. Would that make you a chicken jockey? Oh my god, no.
Chicken jockey.
No.
Chick, please.
Oh god, oh no. How could this happen to me? Oh. My life. My life. Alright, bud, let's go. Can I jump with you? Oh no! Why did it just launch me that? Oh god! I don't know why it just did that. Let's try again. Great. Awesome. Have a low resolution view because I had to turn down the graphics. Ah. Ooh. A bit of the map uncovered. Ooh. Oh, excuse me.
What is that?
What is what? What?
You didn't feel that shaking?
No?
Oh. I mean, you're not using a controller. That's fine.
Oh, no. Fucking, I would be scared if my keyboard started rumbling. That'd be worrisome.
Okay. God, this journey is taking forever. You really didn't have to come with me. I'm so sorry.
You need one of these chickens.
You're really selling the chicken.
I mean, he's fast as shit. And I can just jump off fucking cliffs and buildings and I'm fine. Because he does his little wing flaps. Anyway, chat, get one of these chickens.
Get a chicken.
A palumba.
Palumba. Palumba.
A little shimmy boy.
What's your major?
A little shimmy boy. Look at that. Look at that. Look at him get it. Mm. He's like a car in GTA when he jumps. It's just fucking airborne and it's just gone. Could have made a worse joke about riding a chicken. That is true. Thank you for going the route of shitposting about a chicken jockey. There's a jump.
There is indeed.
Do we need that?
Yes.
See if we can jump right this time. Woo! Oh my god, we are going. Whee! Oh, it got dark. Oh, what happened?
Good.
Oh my lord.
Oh my damn.
Woo! Is that an egg? Oh, that's not an egg. That's one of those frogs. Whoops.
Close.
I thought it was an egg.
We're almost there.
He's not an egg. Oh, we're almost there.
Congratulations on being almost there, chat.
Meow. Um,
I'm about to be attacked, so I gotta run.
Does it watch a giant fucking boulder go behind you? Yahoo! Oh shit! Oh shit! Flap, buddy. Oh, we are good. Oh, we are good. We are good. Look at his face. He's so happy. He's like, that ain't shit. Watch me jump off a cliff again. Is this it? Looks
Yes,
empty.
either this one or one a little opposite, but this one might be satisfactory.
Satisfactory. Love that game.
Oh, my pretzel. Oh.
Why is it jigging like that? Jiggying.
He's got ADHD.
And it gets a nice view of the rings.
Hmm.
You know who else gets a nice view of the rings?
Who?
My mom!
Oh, I don't want to make a joke.
Go on.
No.
Make a joke. Make a joke.
No.
Make a joke. Make
No.
a joke about how she doesn't have a nice view at all because she's underground.
I was not going to say that.
Make a joke.
I was going to say that she has a nice view of everything, actually.
Oh.
But yours was way fucking darker. Do you have the materials to set one down?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just a matter of getting it right in the middle.
Oh, true.
That, or there's another spot. Maybe you might like it better.
This is for your house.
Yeah, but like I like your input.
Okay. I don't know what to say.
Okay.
I don't know what to say.
That was the least like resistance ever. I like your input. Okay.
I don't know what to say. I don't want to be like, well, I don't want to have a back and forth.
Level 55, Yeoman Tide, huh? You're pretty big.
He has a booty made for a Gruben, so that's what he's gonna constantly do. Oh, he do be shaking his butt. Look at his little butt.
I really like the changes they made to Yeoman Tide's design. That's cool.
I would agree, but I'm looking at bird butt right now. Why he built like that? Why he got that dumpy? Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. But yeah, Yormantai looks cool when he's not trying to fucking murder you.
Unfortunately, he's going to try and fucking murder me.
Yep. That seems about right. Does it look good, Angel?
More or
This
less.
area is called the Scars of War.
Oh.
It's fucking raw.
That's worrisome. Maybe he's trying to shake out the eggs you keep storing. Oh my god. How many eggs do I have in my pocket? 1, 2, 3, 4. I only have 4 eggs.
Is that like a riddle you're gonna pose to Gollum?
What?
How many eggs do I have in my pocket?
Okay. Shut up.
How many eggs you got in his pocket?
No.
How many eggs, precious?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Look at him just get it over there. He loves life. He loves being alive.
Ron, Cherry, Aqua.
Oh, I have a thingy. Maybe I should up my attack. I haven't attacked that. Or attacked that? Upgraded that. How's everyone else doing? How are you guys doing?
I'm adventuring.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a pal that has better watering than the gobfins I've got, because the gobfins don't have very good watering.
The swordfish things do.
What's it got?
I think mine has 5.
5?
Oh.
I needed someone who could water the flowers better.
This is it.
Should we set up a gun turret just in case? Are you gonna be okay?
No, I'll be fine, but I just need materials to build a guild chest.
Oh, do I have?
A lot of pallium.
No. 1 second, I'll be right back. I'll grab some stuff for some basic things. And drop off the eggs.
Okie
Eggs.
dokie.
Egg.
Oh, I need to get more of those I forgot the fish too, Ian. The ghost fish. Why do you have an ulcer? Oh no, my baby. How do I heal that? Yeah, the Scutlass has 5 watering.
Seeing.
Oh, my Nangler. I don't know how
Your
to
what?
pronounce that. The ghost fish. He has 6 water.
Your gangler.
Gangler.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't know what I said.
You said angler.
Oh, I tried to pronounce the GH.
You just tried to say anglerfish.
I said Gangler.
Gangler.
Gangler. Oh, buddy, this bed's way too small for you. Fruit goes in here. Eggs go in here. I have stuff for food too. I'll bring back Angel. And something to make a chest. Why did I just run away? Oh, we're all in the same room.
Well, I need a guild chest.
Oh yeah. Let me build that then.
So so I need the equipment for a guild chest.
Stop building! Stop building!
Don't come any closer, oh muscule.
But yeah, we're all in the same room. Sometimes I get really loud. That's my bad.
Yeah, unfortunately we live in a 1-bedroom apartment. It's very cramped.
Oh.
Anyone would like to buy us a house?
What?
Or would like to support us in getting a bigger apartment so that we can each have our own little areas.
Buy me a house.
Let's see. This is my boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why can't I break you? Not break. There we go. I'm way down, but it's fine. Maybe. Can I travel?
Sprawly is my husband and TT is my girlfriend. Oh, hello.
I'm still loading, I'm sorry. Okay, hello. Actually, let me just drop this shit. This. Drop. And this drop. And this drop. And this drop. I think these are the things you need to make it. Modiversary? 30 months? Goodness.
30 months.
How many? 12
No,
months?
TT. This is the stuff to make the Palbox control device.
What?
To make the guild
God
chest.
damn it. 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
What's the power box?
I don't know what a Palbox control device is, but I made one.
What does it do?
It's a remote Palbox control device, so like you can put it somewhere else on your base and it still controls the Palbox.
I see. That seems kind of pointless.
Well, since they made the bases bigger, you know.
What is... Ian, are you at the base?
No. I'm very sorry.
No, you're good. Where's... It's in storage. I need to make fragments real quick.
Fragments?
The palladium fragments.
Ah,
Why can't I
That-
not make them? What is happening here? No, that's the wrong thing. That's not the crusher. I'm at 83, and we need just a little bit more.
yeah, I've been trying to make them, but I don't have anything that can run the crusher very fast.
Where the fuck is my crusher? There it is.
Ooh, shipwrecks.
I'm not weighed down. I just took all that ore out of there. Oh, why do I have 3,000 ore in my pocket? Help.
Why did you take the ore out? And from where?
I don't know, but there's... I don't think they were transporting the ore.
Why?
I don't know why. I think it was just stuck in the thing that they were building. That's gonna take me forever to walk over.
The thing they were building?
The thing they hit to get the ore?
Right.
I think it was just sitting in there and I accidentally clicked it and now...
What have they been transporting?
I don't know. A visitor has arrived. I'm so sorry, Angel. 1 second.
Take your time, but also I'm at the communal base.
Okay. You can help me. I have 5,000 pounds on me. Not over there.
No, I have to know where they're transporting the ore.
Oh, I don't think they were transporting it all. I think it was in the mine thing. I think I accidentally clicked it.
Where's your Mimog?
I don't know where he is. He's in good condition doing something somewhere, though. Oh god, it's gonna take me a while. I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. I'm going so slow, I'm almost at the box. We're almost there. We now have like 3,000 ore. Ore. Let me see that ore. That ore. Max number of structures on base. I can't make another guild chest here, so I have to collect the amount. 50, 110. Okay, in my brain. 50, 110.
Wait.
50,
what do you
100.
mean?
Hold on, please. I'm gonna forget the number. 50 of these. So 50. That's 80. That's 42. I'm... no, please. 19's fine, I guess. I fucked up. 50 ingot, 100 palladium, 10. Okay. Okay, you just take all of it, I guess. Fuck it. Apparently you can only have one guild chest at a base.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I tried to make it so I could destroy it and put the items in my pocket, but did not work.
Oh.
Did not work. Ah. Angel, there's people in your house. There's so many people. There's an expert hunter here with a bunch of bodyguards. Like, he's got 4 bodyguards. I don't know who this man is.
He must be really important.
So I've learned where your Mimogs are.
Oh, yeah?
They're in the breeding pen.
Oh, I forgot they were in there. Shit, I was breeding the Mimogs for you.
Yep.
That's my bad. That's why nothing was getting moved.
That's why I was getting really full. Because I've been watching. Flambell's been transporting, and Hermione's been transporting, but unfortunately they're shit at it.
Oh, well,
So not enough has been going out.
I see. Well. Was there any cake in the stove? Can you check?
Any cake on the stove? Where's your
Yes.
stove?
On the house.
On the house.
In the house. Outside the house. Outside. It's in front of the house.
There's 4 cakes.
Oh my gosh, my model is lagging so bad. What happened? What happened?
Well, I put the cakes in. Okay, no, wait, okay. There's 3 now. Do we have to rest before we can breed again?
Did an egg pop up?
Lover's Bloss, yes, it did.
Okay, take the egg.
Large common egg.
A large mimog?
It's well, maybe.
Let me see that mimog. Oh god, it's gonna take 5 minutes to finish building this? That sucks. What? Who has build? Who's got build? You got transportation. What do you have? Handiwork 3, sure. How's it going? It's going. I'm about to build something, maybe.
It is not large. It is just a mimog.
It's just a normal mimog.
Mimogs just come in large eggs, apparently.
Go in the hatchery, check in one of the barrels underneath the chest. If there's a pink one, that's a mimog. It should be a mimog egg, and you can hatch it. Or if you just want to hatch the other ones, I don't know what the fuck's in there. This is gonna take a minute. Why am I lagging? My model's lagging. I'm sad. My PC's butt.
Jazzy.
She do water.
Dazzy's an electric type.
But she do water.
She do water? Maybe she's electric water.
She rains. She make it rain.
She's a thundercloud, I guess.
Oh, we're gonna be here a while. How's everyone's day going? How are you guys? Who's eating food? What did you have to eat? I'm a weirdo, and I'm nosy. What did you have for food? Let me live vicariously through you.
Tell me about your nighttime routine.
What the fuck does that mean?
What do you do before you go to bed?
How do you sleep, chat? Tell me how you sleep.
Tell me how you sleep.
This man has too many bodyguards. There's another man. What?
Needs to be defended.
Who are these men? About to eat some chicken patties. Ooh, chicken patty.
Look at this fucking guy.
That'll be so fun. Oh, my water's low.
And this big guy.
A honey-baked ham sandwich? Oh, that sounds good. And I sleep like the chaotic gremlin I am. Now, when you say that, does that mean you're like all sprawled out and you're like fucking rolling around, kicking and shit? Do you scream in your sleep?
Yes.
Had some cheesy rice, sausage, rice, and cheese mixed together. It was tasty. Oh, that does sound good. That sounds good. Hi, Angel. We just been building. No screaming. I do talk, though. I apparently used to talk in my sleep. That's what my mother told me. I can't confirm because I'm usually unconscious. I sleep by letting the darkness consume me and let the thousands of soul-eating voices lull me to sleep. That sounds... something. I don't know what the sound of 1,000 soul-eating voices would sound like. Is it comforting?
Is it just them the sounds of them eating.
Of them eating.
Yeah, they're thousand soul eating voices. So it's like
Oh,
if they're eating, they're like,
Ew.
oh,
Just them chewing the whole time?
just the mouth sounds.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Just a constant, constant spiritual mukbang.
A constant. Oh,
Oh,
oh.
don't yawn. Don't make fun of my yawn.
No, I was making fun of the chopped up sentence. No. Very sure are walking. What are you? Who are you, sir? He's got meat? Gale call poultry. Raindrix venison. Goodness. Aether deer venison. Oh no. Well, enjoy your meat, sir. Also, how am I still weighed down? Let's put this stuff in there. There we go. Whatever you want it to. I'm gonna build a little food bowl right here so I can drop off some food. There we go. Hopefully that helps. Oh my god, all these fucking men.
All these fucking men.
Oh my
When they're done
gosh.
fucking.
How do I change the priority of something? Is that in Task Manager?
You can't really change the priority of it. You can just tell them not to do certain things.
Oh.
But you can't, like, make one thing more important than another.
Why not?
Because it's a rudimentary game.
Oh, they're running away. Oh, they're gone? No, they're over there. They're just leaving, I guess.
A huge common egg.
A huge Meemog?
That's just still, it's still just a Meemog.
Oh. Oh, I need to go get those fish.
Oh no, it is a huge one.
It's a huge Meemog?
Yeah, this one's kind of bowler.
Kind of baller? What does that mean?
He's a workaholic. He's a noble. He's earthquake
A
resistant.
noble?
He's impatient. He's a noble. It increases the value of our items sold by 5%.
Crazy.
And yeah, he's big.
Don't kill it! I used the wrong ball.
Look at him, he's big.
You fucking killed it! Gosh, girl.
I'm gonna go ahead and put a pal with the merciful thing inside the box for you.
Please.
And then you can, like, surgically give that to someone. Not to Herbal, of course. You can't sate Herbal's lust for murder.
I got you, fish.
You got me a Scutless?
Oh, I got the ghost one.
Oh, that's good.
He's got he level 6. I'm trying to see if there's any more in case they have other abilities.
6 is pretty good. Zoe and Grisbolt just hanging out in the dimensional box.
Crazy. Oh, that was my last one. Why did I miss every fucking shot?
Oh no!
It's okay, Herbil's got me. Oh, Herbil, you killed it. Oh, we killed that one too. Okay, well, everything's dead. I'm gonna teleport to main base. Where are you at?
Next to the main base.
Okay.
Maybe dimensional box.
I'll put the fish in there and you can choose which one you'd like. Or just take all of them and condense them.
How many did you get?
I think I got 3? Most of them died, unfortunately.
Goodness.
And there was at least 10.
Hello.
Hello.
That whack has a mercy hit.
A mercy hit? It does?
That's the one you want.
Thank you. Oh, I only ended up getting 2. Apparently.
Well,
Wait, is one in my party? No, stop. No? I only got 2. Great. I could get more. I ran out of spears. I guess the other one didn't take. Wait, do we have some in the box?
I don't know.
Is there the guild one up here?
What?
Is there a guild chest up here?
Yeah, it's
Where's
in the storage building. I
storage
made.
building? Oh, I just turned the light on and off in here. What the fuck? Whoops.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just confused. Okay. Try and go back. I'm so sad my model's just lagging. The hell? It was fine. What happened? I think it's just VTube Studio. When I click into VTube Studio, it's fine.
Because it's putting more priority into the game than it is to VTube Studio.
That's really laggy. That's annoying.
Like, unfortunately, I wouldn't know what to help you with. Do you have the upscaling on?
Upscaling?
Yeah.
In Palworld?
Yeah.
I might have to check that. I have no idea.
It's in the graphics settings.
Okay, 1 second. I got a bunch of fish attacking me. Don't kill him. If it doesn't kill me first. Fuck. Catch it. Okay, it was worth it. That one has blood of the dragon. Jesus. Okay, as soon as I live again, I will check. Excuse me. Is it under graphics?
Yes.
So options, graphics. Where's upscaling?
The one that says upscaling.
Yes, thank you. Great. Where is that?
It's at the bottom where it says upscaling. So when you're in the graphics settings,
Low latency, DLSS?
yeah, and then above that it says upscaling.
Yes, but what do I do?
You didn't say yay that. You just said where is it, and I told you, and then you went, oh yeah.
Yes, but like, what do I do about upscaling?
What's it set on?
It was on performance.
Okay, yeah, leave it on performance.
I shouldn't do automatic or off? Because this is...
You can try automatic and see what happens.
Also, what about my low latency? Is that fine? My presets are medium right now. I think.
Your max FPS is still set to 30.
No, I set it to 60.
Put that back down to 30 then.
Oh.
I'm very sorry, but what's happening is because it's trying to do 60 frames per second, it's going like, oh, well, I can't do that while I'm doing VTube Studio. So it says...
It still seems like it can't do it.
Well, you applied it, right?
Yes. Immersion. What's VSync?
VSync is a, it artificially matches the refresh rate of your screen so that you don't have screen tearing.
I see.
You could turn it off and see how if it improves anything.
Oh gosh.
VSync can sometimes cause some issues. And you definitely shouldn't need it on if you're limiting to 30 FPS.
Welcome back. I am just trying to fix things because I'm lagging. I'm still lagging. What is happening? I even ran VTube Studio out of Steam. I love Scuff. What if put it over here? Nope, it's still lagging. Oh my god, as someone with a gun just enters the view of my screen. Jesus Christ.
Did you start VTube Studio as an administrator?
No.
You should do that.
I'm will poof for a second. And I'm gone. Where's my VTube? Run as administrator. Yes. Cannot find VTube Studio EXE. What do you mean? What? What? What is happening? What is going on? Usually I do this. And I would do run without theme. I try to run it as administrator.
Press yes.
Windows cannot find VTube Studio EXE.
Just run it as administrator normally. So don't do it through start resting.
I'm on my way. Oh, it's so bright. I'm here. I'm gonna click back into Palworld. It's better. Wait. Not as laggy, but it's whatever. It's better than it was before.
Can I do one thing too?
Okay. What just happened?
I don't know what just happened.
What was that?
Didn't like it.
No, I don't think it did. The video control panel. What's that?
Tell you if it fucking showed up.
There it is. My PC's trying.
Failing.
Okay, well. In my computer screen? Think. Think. What is wrong with my computer? Let's think about this. What could be wrong with it? Okay, chat. We are going to diagnose my PC. I diagnose it with, piece of shit.
Piece of shit.
I diagnosed this PC with, piece of shit. I think your PC is shit.
I diagnose it with ligma.
Not the ligma. Who's Steve Jobs? Oh, careful, my PC's trying.
Piece of shit. It certainly is.
My CPU is at 76.
What are you doing at full screen?
Degrees. How am I supposed to play the game?
Nice. Play the game.
Borderless? Was that how I was playing before? Did we do it? Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? You can't press buttons and then walk away laughing. Princess, Daddy needs a better computer. Princess, I think my computer needs upgrades.
TC, how long have you been playing PC games?
I don't know. Why?
Rough estimate.
I don't know. Maybe 10 years.
10 years?
I guess.
Basically since Overwatch, huh?
Oh, okay. Okay. First of all, I played Overwatch when it was on console. I played it on console first, sir.
Wow.
Wow, what? Wow, what? What else do you want to say?
Nothing.
No, of course you don't.
Nothing.
I am being
But
bullied.
here's a pro piece of PC game knowledge, and chat, you might know this too.
What is
You
it?
might, you should know this too.
What is it? What is it?
Most games will run better on borderless Windows.
So then why don't they just come default like that?
Because developers
Yeah. Developers? What the?
are weird.
Are weird?
But a lot of games these days do just not come with full screen mode anymore.
Good. Cause look it, I'm fine now.
But I must point out.
No.
No, hold on. I must. It's not about you.
Okay.
Dang old homunculus.
A teleport or something.
This is not true for every game.
Okay.
Some games do run better in full screen mode. And I hate that they have exceptions to this rule.
Chat, I'm gonna die real quick. I'm gonna die real quick and I'm gonna get me some water.
It is just it's just the way of things. That dang old homunculus. Never trust a teleporting homunculus. At Daniel Homunculus went to plaguerathardies.com. Yeah, he's a whippersnapper. He teleports or something. Daniel Homunculus. Oh my goodness.
Oh my damn. He going ham. Chat, do you hear that? You hear that water? With tiny ice cubes? Good. That's good shit.
Why is there only 10 stone?
Why is there not? I don't know.
Where's all the stone gone?
What? Is it in my pocket? Hold on. I don't know where the stone is gone. Give me a second. A dang old homunculus. Your venom question. I fucked up. Where's the question? Which venom is my favorite? Oh, God.
Like, as in which host venom?
Or iteration of venom? Or design of venom? Because, like, one of my obscure favorite venoms is Venom's design from Disney Infinity. I love that design. He has great upper body and great, like monster arms. I do like that version. I have, like, 3 of the Disney Infinity Venoms as just, like, figurines. Because I just love that design. It's one of my favorites. My favorite. I like Venom from the first live action more than I do the sequels. What comic book number is that one? I have several Venoms I enjoy. I have quite a few. I like Marvel Rivals Venom. That's a pretty good Venom. I don't like Eddie Brock, how he looks in Marvel Rivals, but I'm just a stickler because I don't think Eddie Brock is all that great with blonde hair. That's just me. That's just me. I love Venom being a bi icon. We love him for that. What was I doing? Rocks.
We're finding out why there's no stone left.
Well, they're not in my pocket. Did I drop them somewhere? Hold on, let me go back to Lavender Base. Oh.
What do you mean you might be the reason? What did you do?
All the stone? He do have a good booty in Marvel Rivals, but look up Disney Infinity Venom. I like how his upper body is shaped. He's got that like he's got like triangle, but he's got like big like hunch over arms. It's fun, and he's got a little tiny waist, little slut waist. Yeah, little slut waist. It's cute. I like it. Picasso.
Angel, why are you still mute?
Because I didn't want to annoy people with the with the echo. The echo.
It's gonna echo, baby girl.
It's just gonna echo. But also, what did you do with the stone?
I used it.
On what?
What did you do with the stone? That's what I didn't set up. I didn't have my stone set up here. That's what I was missing. Oh, the altar's still here. Can I remove the altar?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's 100 stone.
Angel's avoiding this question. What did you use the stone on?
I'm assuming she's building her house. Why don't you go teleport? Go look at her house. I'll tell you what it's not made out of. It's not made out of straw.
When it's made out of glass.
Oh yeah, you can make glass. Gloss.
Gloss.
I like the sound. I'm not being mean.
It's cold here.
I'm cold. Shows up. I'm cold. The weather's
Okay, well,
awful.
you should also make a multi-climate, like,
I
undershirt.
guess I probably should. But you don't have much stone here. What's going on? Where did all the stone go?
You can drop it in the Discord server if you want. I'm not really open to DMs at the moment. I'm just keeping it to commissions and people close to me. Let's see. I need the platforms. I totally didn't just use stone, so we're just gonna ignore that one. I didn't do that. Who did that?
Who's using all the stuff?
Who's using all the stone? Anyway, I'm gonna set up the stone pit. Which way does the pals stand on it? They stand on it this way. Oh, it's so it's too big. It might be in the way. We gotta move the crusher. Sorry, crusher.
Oh, no one's mining stone in this base.
In what base? Yeah, no one was mining stone in lavender either. I realized.
Oh, well, I guess we should change that, huh?
Yeah, I'm fixing the error.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let me...
There we go.
Knocklem. I think you're gonna be my miner up here, buddy. You're gonna
Big
be
ass
getting me
knocklem.
some stone. You're gonna be getting me some stone going.
There we go. Stone is up again. Foundations. What did I unlock? Metal parts? Why is that favorited? What? I just have a roof piece favorited. Crazy. I don't know why that is.
This is my favorite roof.
This is my favorite piece.
Slaps roof of roof. This is my favorite roof.
My favorite one right here. Roof. Ah, it's overlapping a little bit.
Does Knocklem's face look like Cinderace from Pokemon?
I don't remember what that Pokemon is. I'd have to look at a picture.
No. No, it does
That is
not.
so crooked. That's crooked as shit. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. It was too crooked. Can't see if that's fucking lined up. Maybe that's lined up? No, whatever. Fuck. I can't get it lined up. I do, but I can peep angels. Oh, I've seen that Venom figure before. I do like how it's articulated. Can I place the pillar now? Yes. Okay, now we have stone.
I don't think Doomud Guild is generating money.
What is
Yes, it is.
he
It's-
generating?
Generating high quality pal oil.
And money.
Hey bud, what are you doing in there?
Where does it... Where are we storing the money?
I don't know. I told it to I tried
You
to
have
be,
a
yeah.
box that accidentally has money checked?
Well, I mean,
Mayhaps.
I haven't turned off money on any boxes.
Money
it's
is
800.
under other
Cool, yeah.
materials.
Well, there you go. They might just be putting the money around. Spreading the wealth. Oh, I guess I can't fix them to the food? I guess not. I can't just have them tend to the crop. Hmm. Oh, I forgot that pal has an ulcer. How do I fix that? What medicine do they need? Did this one? It's this one. I'm coming,
the
buddy.
pills.
Yeah. Come here, bud. I'm sorry. Stop working for like 2 seconds. I hope Bushi didn't just walk in the fucking way.
Oh, Bushi.
Why can't I fish? Let me
Fish.
fucking heal you. Why can't I heal you? What? Feed the medicine. Oh, I feed you so weird. Do you feel better, buddy? There we go. Okay, why am I crouching? Okay. Alright, we have stone going. We have 2 more Mimog eggs. Need more cake. That's a lot of salad. That is a lot of salad. Zombie, hello! How are you doing? How are you doing? Good. Happy Monday. Is that spaghetti? No, it's carbonara. Crazy. What? How much carbonara can I make? That's a lot. See, I guess that's gonna be our bulk food this time around, is carbonara. Did I just select all? What the fuck? What did I just do? Does it do magic tricks? The carbonara effect. We'll do, oh, maybe I can do 30. Maybe, there we go. 30. What am I missing for cake? Berries? I ran out of berries? What? I guess I gotta go get some berries. There's a specific place that has a shit ton over here. I'm gonna go get some fucking berries. Berries. Oh. It's a very fun game. I really like the updates they did. That's a big bunny. Hello. Look how fucking cute that little bitch is. Hello, Silver. How are you? There were berries here, wasn't there? Yeah, yeah. Why is it so bright? What just happened to my game? I feel like it's abnormally bright. Let me get all these berries. I might have to adjust some things at Lavender Base. So I need to be able to have more crops, and a piece of the platform is sticking outside, so it decays way faster and can't be fixed. So that's a little bit of a pain in the butt. How many berries we got so far? That's not a lot. What the hell? We've been playing since early access, so it's funny seeing some pals being buggy like before. Oh yeah. I had a Mazzarina disappear. I also had a Mazzarina glitch partway through a house and then turn into a glass of milk. So that was fun. Please. More berries. Does Capra Tea drop berries?
Capricorn drop berries? I think it does, yeah.
I might have to put one of those in the farm.
I think it's meant to be a...
You've watched videos of pals ascend to the heaven? We've had a few of those do that.
Yeah, that's been happening.
They've been
It's been
ascending.
hilarious.
Just out of nowhere for no reason.
I'm a big fan of it.
The ascension. Let's take these back and maybe, okay, fix up the crops, maybe. Close up. And lavender base. Okay. Upset and not willing to do tasks. What's wrong? Where are you? Why are you sad? I literally cannot see him. He's working somewhere though. Is he working? No, he's in the tub. Just wanted to stop and spread the love. Enjoy your day. Oh, thank you. I hope you have a good rest of your day too. Oh, I guess he feels better now after taking a bath. Okay. Whatever works, I guess. Whatever gets you through the day. We need to adjust this. These crops are not making it. We'll do this. Can we? Nope. We need it the other way. I don't know if this will decay. I'm assuming it might. Come on. Stop being a butt. I want it the other way. Just face the right way, please. What? Thank you. Then we will do a corner piece, so it's mostly inside. Hopefully that helps. Maybe? And then we will make it upstairs. Kind of counterintuitive since plants need sunlight, but it's whatever. Potatoes. And onions. But now the crops should fare better this way. Oh my goodness, come on. Come on. There we go. It's not that one. Ooh. Can I paint it, please? Maybe. Yeah, there we go. Oh. Oh, maybe. There we go. Hopefully that helps. I doubt this will help really, because it's mostly out of the way, but... There we go. More crops. What are you doing in here? What? I need you to water the crop. Cannot. Mini fixes. Level 1, 2. Where's the big one? Oh, maybe she might be too big. Excuse me, m'lady. I can't pick her up. She's too big and she's stuck. Girl. No. I need to pick her up, but she's in the way.
No, it's nice.
No, it's nice. It's nice. She's
Nice.
I can't even tell if she's doing something. I see her waving her hand like she's planting, but she's nowhere near the garden. It says she's planting the carrots, but she's all the way over here. Well, heck. Bo-Katan's got 3. She has 4. This one has 4. It's smaller though. Hopefully. He has 3. That one has 5. What is downtrodden? What? Defense -10. Well, you're not really gonna be defending things. Let me take you over here. As I just carry this bitch. There you go. She dancing. It looked like she was eating the tree. It did. They were just doing something. They're in a world of their own. This dude keeps trying to fucking graze. I don't know what he's doing in there, but we're swapping him out. Oh, goodness.
Look at how many Mimogs I've had to get to keep up with the production of this base. I've got 4.
I got 2 more for you. More
Unless I can upgrade
Mimog.
some more.
I have a sadist.
You have a sadist?
Yes.
A sadist Mimog.
Yes.
Well, that sadist is gonna get juiced.
Oh.
Right, they're in the storage. House storage.
I need to drop off the... I actually have to hatch these Mimogs first. Alright, come on, come on, come on. Mimog was born.
Mimog was born. Yes, Mimog was born.
Another Mimog. We have more cake? I don't think we do. It's so slow. The carbonara is being made as well. I forgot about that. Let's actually take the carbonara off there. Oh, actually, who's set to cook here? Blaze Howl's meant to cook here.
Someone cooked here.
Someone cooked here. Even with Blaze Howl's fucking fire, it's so slow.
On what?
The cake.
You're using an electric one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to get that on my base. My blaze howl's been upgraded, so it's got an even faster flame.
Of?
So it might be good for you to use here.
Of? What? How would I use it there? I need the cake here.
Okay, but I can make a kitchen here.
So I
You make
come
the cake-
back.
What?
So I come back and use the cake here.
Yeah.
Why would I do that when I just have the kitchen here?
Because my blaze howl's better than yours.
Oh, what is it? What is your blaze howl at? What is it?
8.
Why can't I use your blaze howl?
What do you mean, why can't you use my blaze howl?
Why can't you put your blaze howl here?
Because I need my blaze howl to make
Okay.
the iron. Like, how am I supposed to smelt the ingots?
I don't know. With your butt.
With my butt?
With your butt.
Anyway, I'm gonna make 200 refined ingots.
Okay. You make those 200
Get to work,
refined
Blaze Howl.
ingots.
Pump that shit
The
out.
poor blaze howl.
I hear a shiny somewhere.
Ooh.
Yeah, I hear it too.
Get that shiny.
Sorry, a lucky.
Lucky. Get that lucky.
Oh, it's a lucky caprity.
Get the lucky kippity.
Will. Let me make sure my ring is on.
The kittipity.
And then I'm just gonna go.
Let's see.
I mean, TT's base is so aesthetic, and mine, I just made a box house.
You literally just started.
You did just start. You can. Oh no! Don't kill it!
No! Stop the murder!
Jesus Christ, I got it. I got
Did
it.
you get your fish? From the box?
Yes.
Okay.
I did get it out of the box, but I didn't put it in. Oh, I did put it in. It's okay.
As long as you got it. I need...
Did I sign it? Let me make sure I signed it.
Oh, I thought you said sign, like you were signing the Pokemon. I was like, what? You can do that? You can give them a little autograph? That's new. That's new in the update.
Wow.
I didn't make a saddle for this guy. God. Well, actually, what level is his saddle at? Hold on. I bet I'm not even there yet. No, am I? Where is it? Maybe I'm not there yet. The Moldrin has a saddle. That's crazy. We'll unlock that. Oh, I don't have any of these saddles unlocked. Oh, I do have it unlocked. I just have to make it. Okay. I'll have to do that. My fish saddle. I need it to be nighttime. Is it nighttime yet?
No.
Damn. Where's the sun in the sky? Is it almost down?
No.
Wee. No.
Oh, the logging site 2 produces hardwood.
Oh, there we go.
It doesn't make you normal wood faster, it just makes you the better wood. That makes sense.
The hard.
Hardwood.
Hardwood.
Oh, I need to go up that way. Shoot.
Oh, I
Oh.
like the froggy chair.
See, Ian, is a good idea.
I didn't complain about it. I just was like, why is it there?
'Cause it's
Didn't
lovely.
complain. It's not a complaint.
I want to be facetious.
You've been facetious.
I have. When do we get to the floating isles? And are they level 100?
The maximum level is 80, so I don't think they're level 100.
Okay. What do you think's on there? Cheese?
House.
Oh, well. Why didn't I think of that?
My daily allotment of cheese.
It's hourly allotment of cheese.
Hourly cheese.
Yeah. Weigel gets an hourly allotment of cheese.
That's crazy. I want
Yeah?
English.
English.
Yeah.
Ian, why did you say that like an Amish guy?
What? But when I went, yeah?
No.
English.
When you said English, you said it and you sounded like an Amish guy.
I don't know why.
Okay, it's nighttime. Where are the bushi?
Go get some bushi while I
Where's the bushi? I need a bushi.
Need a bushi.
Where are the bushi? That's not a bushi. Those aren't bushi.
Ian, come look where your Mimog is sleeping. Your giant one.
Yeah, he gets stuck up there, I've noticed. I need to replace him with a normal one.
Ah. But he's so big and jolly.
Oh, you killed it! Oh no! Why? Why do they just murder? Why? I just... The kitty is dead now. Ugh. Another horse. I don't need a horse. I need a cat and a bushi. Night goes by so fast. I don't need Lee's punks. Get them out of here. The bird, it's not what I need. What am I doing? Oh my god, we are not here to do that. Jesus Christ. That's another horse. I need a cat. And a bushi.
Boshi.
It's another horse. Whose horse is that? Hope I didn't kill, like, the only one in the area. That would be really sucky. Oh, Lee's punks. Don't need those. Another horse. A normal Bushi? No! Man. Oh, hey! Not nice. This is a bunch of horses. More lizards. Ah! It's gonna be daytime soon.
Excuse me.
Nope. Get in the ball. Stay in the ball. Stay in the ball. Why wouldn't you stay in the ball? I don't want to end you. Let's go. Alright, we got one. Now we need a Bushi. Bushi! Where are you, Bushi? Flying away. Woo! Oh, it's getting to be daytime. Oh, that's not good. That's just a wee bit spicy. Ow. Oh no! Herbal! Herbal! Get in the fucking ball. There we go. We still don't have a Bushi, and my poor fucking bird is down.
Bushi.
Bushi. Whee! Where are all the Bushi? Where are all the Bushi?
Well, Bushi Noct only come out at night.
I know, that's why I came here. There
But
was...
it's not night.
I came here when it was nighttime. There were no Bushi. Well, there was normal Bushi, but there were no Noct. But there were fucking Pyre and Noct everywhere, and a few, the cat ones. Not cat, Blaze How? That's a cat.
Blaze Hell, yeah.
Now my poor bird's dead, and I can't go fast. I guess I can go along the beach to the town. Trying to fucking... I'm so slow.
Found a Bushi, but it's not Noct.
Yeah. I need the EP time ones. Poogie, get! Go, 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 go. That's not your food.
Uh-oh, she's in trouble.
Eating other dog's food, even though she ain't got no teeth. Oh my gosh. It's a long ways without my bud.
Without your Bushi.
Without my palumba. My palumba. Almost there. We'll get there one day. Why did I just do that? Why? I hate that. I need to change the pal spear throwing thing. So I'm gonna do that now. Is there not? Is there not keybinds? For throwing the pal? No. Controls? Keyboard?
Throwing the pal? What do you mean?
The ball, I mean. I don't want to change sphere. I want to throw it. Throw is no longer Q for me. It is now that button. So
What button?
my mouse, like extra mouse button.
Alright, don't squeeze your mouse too hard.
I have to actually make an effort in order to press that button. Because my thumb is small. A syndicate crusher. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. I mean, oh, fwack. Oh, fwack. A cleaner? That person was just trying to do their job and you murdered them. Murdered them in cold blood. They were just trying to do windows. Kelpsy. Please, punk, get the fuck away. I'm busy. Almost there. Oh, my poor chicken. My poor Palumba.
Palumba.
My Palumba. Oh. An angry enemy. Where's Herbal? Alright, Herbal, let's go. We're gonna get this guy. Flare. Pyromaniac Flare. Wow. What an original name, sir. You couldn't pick a different name? Oh my god! Herbal! Herbal!
So I'm guessing we're not going to be meeting Flair anytime soon.
Flare's fucking dead.
Yeah. That's what I figured.
They had 2 bread on them. Okay, Herbal, that's enough! That's enough! He's going with the theme, you're right. Alright, we're finally to a fucking waypoint. Still no Bushi knocked, unfortunately, so we might have to look elsewhere. Thought the fire area would be sure thing, but guess not. Guess not. Nope. Alright. Oh look, there they go. Let's... We gotta put my buddy in here so he can heal.
Your Palumba.
My Palumba.
Oh, Palumba.
What is the artisan trait?
Better work speed, right?
F to view details? Nope, that wasn't right. Oh yeah, work speed plus 50. Increases player mining efficiency. Okay, that's good, I think. We'll put you in there.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I think. Maybe, Oh, I need to build a saddle for my fish.
The master wouldn't allow me to die. I don't think.
I don't think,
I don't think.
Do I have the stuff to make a saddle? I do! Fish saddle, let's go!
Fish saddle.
Oh
Fish
wow, that's gonna
saddle.
take a little bit. Actually, we need someone who can help.
Fish saddle. Yummy, yummy.
Oops.
Fish saddle.
Fish saddle, yummy,
Yummy,
Bitch, where
yummy.
did you just go? I need your help. Why are you planting shit over there? Girl. Leaving immediately.
Someone did this fucking shit again.
What?
Whenever someone like brings a POW out at this base, they immediately go and mine that rock that spawns down there, and then all my transport POWs immediately start running all the way around to collect it all.
Can pals use ladders?
No, I don't think so. But you know what? You know what?
You're gonna build something over it?
If I put it right there, it shouldn't be able to spawn anymore.
Watch it spawn an even bigger rock.
Don't manifest.
Okay.
Don't manifest this.
What other saddles do we have? Okay. Have cake going. Hold on. Let's see.
Yeah,
Oh, did you cover it?
I did. Hopefully that means nothing will mine here anymore.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed. I wonder how fast he can go. We should go see. We have a saddle now. Let us go to... I don't know if there are any areas that aren't on this map. Pretty sure that's all of it. It's like that big area. Right. Pretty sure. Haven't gotten that area cleared up. Probably swim out to that island. We'll go here. That way we can at least get the waypoints. My pretzels have melted again. Another round of pretzel. Okay, so we need to go on the back side of this thing.
She's going in the backside.
I love going to the back door. Let's see. Oh yeah, I forgot there's like all this shit back here. This whole area. Wonder if anyone's like built here before. I assume it's not really ideal because there's like nothing. Oops. Can I ride him on land too? What? Let's go. Can we jump? We can't even though we're a fish. There's some chickens back here. Some Cativa. Alright. Not as fast as our Palumba, but hey, we're still going pretty fast. Yeah, there's not really much back here. There's a cave, though. Alright, let's see if we can swim out there. Oh, he's fucking zooming. Where's his stamina bar? Does he not have one? What is going on? Jesus. Alright. I guess he just doesn't have one since he's a fish? Question mark? Meow. Actually really great though. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. What is all lethal here? I made my broken pal better and I've never been so happy to complete it, but sad to start again. Oh. Oh, the fuck was that noise? Think we're okay? Scoring island? Isle? Excuse me? Islet? Islet? It's a nice little formation area. We got some needles here. Hello, King Bartle, how are you? Thanks, keyboard. I didn't want to press L twice anyway. 4 rainbow passives? Holy shit. Is that a door? Not an accessible door, but a door. So many needles here. Do we have any other pals here? I love Hello 3 ODST. Other than that, you're good? Good. I'm glad to hear, especially on a Monday. Wait, does he have... Hold on. I need to test something. He has stamina on land, but he doesn't have stamina in water. He can just fucking go forever. I love that. That's fucking great. Hell yeah, little buddy.
I go face.
You go face. So far, I've only seen needles on this island. Ooh. Oh, his jump, though. Look at that jump. Woo! Woo! Guess we have to go up? Did I even see the waypoint? No. Is there a big needle here? I need to go up the ladder. I didn't want to attack, but that's fine, whatever.
Yep.
Guess we're gonna have to climb our way up. Two old ones along with the 2 new passives. Base pal along with it. Ooh. Summer vacation. Mondays have no sway over me. Another door. Shit. A chest I can't open. Great. This way. Oh! Okay, there are other pals on this island. I'm sorry, Dig Toys. I didn't see you. I'm sorry. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. They're big mad. Well, I learned. Well, there are other ones here.
I've got a bunch of hardwood. So
Wood.
now we can make hardwood thing.
Hardwood thing? Can I have this chest?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. I got a...
Two.
Wait, did it put it in my inventory? I got another Bella Noir slab. Is that what it's called?
Ooh.
Yes, okay. I'll put the carbon on.
Now we can do a raid.
Where are we going to put it?
Probably on Lavender Base.
Oh, man.
It's not going to destroy because you can have the option to like go in.
Go in?
Like to
An Elden Ring arena.
yeah,
Oh.
kinda.
Nothing but a hardwood thing.
We want to catch it, right?
Yes.
Is this it? Where's am I on the wrong side? It's up more, but how do I get up more? Over there? You can't catch raid pals, you have to kill it to gain the egg?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, okay. I've never done it.
Yeah, I have. I've done the most of the extreme raids.
So when I said we want to catch it, right, and you went, yep, what you meant was no.
Right. What I meant was you gotta capture its egg.
Where the fuck am I going? I don't think I'm going the right way. I don't know what I'm doing. Is it what? Is it that rock? That rock? Where the fuck am I going? Did I miss it? Am I just... Level 80 was such a hassle to grind, but it was so worth it. Oh gosh, I'll get there one day. Right? Where's my spirit jump? Where's the jump wind? I don't think I'm doing this right. Something doesn't feel right. I don't know if this is it. I don't think... What the fuck am I doing? What is this? Oh, I don't have a grapple. I don't know if I'm actually supposed to be climbing this. You just keep going all the way up this? Oh boy, I hope I fucking don't run out of stamina. Oh! Hope I don't just... Everything is bad. Well, now I'm gonna run out of stamina. Can I get up here? Oh! Herbal, thank you. Thanks, Herbal. Thanks, bud. I just fucking fell all the way down. God. How could this happen to me? That's exactly it. Oh, sorry, fish. God. I have to go all the way up that? That's ridiculous. I don't know if I'm gonna have the stamina. Okay, I can stand here.
I'm gonna move the guild chest in the production resource base. They're having some issues with it because they keep prioritizing the ore node, and then the stone one doesn't get picked up at all.
Ah,
So I'm gonna move it closer to the stone one.
where's my flying pal? I don't have one. No, please! I keep falling!
Let me get this straight, Nikki. Are you telling me that we just can't stop coming? We just keep coming.
For a week straight.
What do you think's inside that cave?
Okay. I
I'm gonna
am
put
not
it
gonna make it up
right-
this fucking thing.
I want to put it in here.
Can I stand here? Apparently fucking not. I'm gonna die again. Can I stand here? Yes. Oh my god. Okay. Again. Almost there. Oh, there it is. That's ridiculous. Why the fuck is it all the way up here? I can't even open that chest.
The Minmogs are transporting so much wheat.
All the wheat. Where? Okay. It's a needle? Is it a big one? Where is it? Nope, that way? Is it here? I don't see it. Oh, maybe it's that one. Oh, okay, we're just gonna beam it. Get in the ball. A prickly welcome needle. Oh shit, it got out. Oh, get in there. Get in the ball. Stay in the ball. Uh-huh. Yep. We fucking got it. Let's fucking go. We are professionals.
Professionals?
Yes.
We still need a grinder for. We still need a mill for this wheat.
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 Still need a mill for the wheat? Okay. Just a mill. Got it.
Alright, let's see. We can use that manual. Okay. Great, now I need to get the fuck out of here. If it doesn't stay in the ball, it's a prick. Is that an island? Yes, we haven't been over there. Let's go, my guy. Into the ocean. Into the ocean and it all. Into the ocean and it all. And he's got that fucking speed. Let's get in the water. Yeah! Look at him go! Let's go, fishy. Let's fucking go. We are speed. What is that? Are those just fishing spots in the water? Like, what? I think so. A fishing rod must be equipped. I don't have one. Wait, actually, do I have one? I do. Where do I put this? Right there? How do I fucking... How do I do this?
Did we want to do the Tower of the Brothers of the Eternal Fire?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Oh, 1 second. I'm fishing in the middle of the ocean.
I'm fishing in the ocean, actually.
Let's fucking go. I got money from it? Oh, hell yeah. My DBD skills are paying off. I'm swimming to a waypoint right now, so I'll be there in a moment. Oh, he do be wiggling his booty, don't he? Fishy booty wiggles.
Booty.
Booshi. Oh, it's nighttime. Fuck, I can't look for a booshi.
Nope.
Shit. What damn it. I do love the dredge. Dredge is lovely. He isn't any unknown though. Sunlit Isle. Cool. Oh, absolutely. Obviously. Oh, I don't have an electricity pal. Damn. I hear someone sleeping. Oh, the game dredge. Ah, that makes sense. What's this one? A kindling pal. I don't have one of those either. Oh, it's more of the little dudes. They sleeping. They want to sleep. Do we have any other guys here? Who all do we got on this island? Some herbals. Look at how they sleep! I love herbal even more. What was that? What is it? Is there... Is it fish? I can aim? I don't know how to do this shit. Fishing. Then what do I do? Oh. Hold, wait, hold to align the bar with the fit. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. A whack. Why am I holding it like that? I don't like that. I don't think I like that. My inventory was full. I have so much shit in my pockets. It looks so pained inside. What's this? A watering pile. And that's it. Too much junk in the trunk. Pockets.
Junk
Pockets.
in
Pockets.
trunk.
Pockets full.
Pockets. Pockets.
I did not want to do that. Did I just fucking laser beam? Oh, okay. We need to leave. We aren't allowed to do.
You evaporated that guy.
I didn't mean to. I thought I was casting.
You have to aim with it.
I forgot. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna go empty my pockets and I'll meet you guys at the volcano.
Okay.
I wish I had some stuff to level up my dude.
Good dude.
My fish. He's really good. He's a good fish. Need my bird in my party because he go fast.
Boshi.
Haven't got a Bushi yet, unfortunately. Who keeps dropping shit right before the storage?
The pals, probably.
They need to stop that.
They have a habit of, like, changing their priority en route to delivering something.
It'll always be right in front. No, I don't want to harvest. Goodness. Okay. My place is so elegant. Thank you. I don't know if I would use the word elegant, but appreciate it. Oh, we have 5 cakes. We can put that in the thing. Ooh. Mimogs. Who wants
so that
to
I may make some
breed?
Mimog smoothies.
Who wants to breed? Boom, egg immediately. Good job. Good porkin'.
Good porkin'.
Yeah. That's like a early 2000s way of saying boning.
It is, I know.
I'm lagging again. What is happening?
Do Mimogs have like a red rocket?
I don't want to answer that question. And I don't want an answer to that question, quite honestly.
Chat.
No. Am I tiny? Uh-oh. Chat, don't answer the question. Don't even think about that question. Fire. Lava. It's porking so fast they broke your model. They did. Where is everyone? The air is spicy.
I'm climbing up a volcano.
Oh.
I'll meet you at the summit.
Oh god, I have to go there. Which one's an easier climb? I guess this one. I should have... I don't know if my bird would have... We'll see. Alright, buddy. Nope. This wasn't a good idea. This was a terrible idea. I'm on fire. My poor bird.
My bird.
We're on fire. Everything's terrible. I'm on fire still.
Chat, I have a cowboy.
Right. I'm burning to death. Hey, chat, cowboy hat check? Fit check?
Fit check.
Does a little twirl.
Am I cute?
Am I bonita?
Am I
Do
bonita?
you think I'm bonita?
Because I'm feeling bonita.
Feel bonita.
Feeling bonita. Since my fish technically doesn't have legs. Well, he's gliding pretty good. Can we oh, we can glide up this shit. Oh, yes. Oh. Oh, we've hit a limit. Skyrim shuffle.
Skyrim shuffle.
Yeah. Yeah. My armor's damaged. It's broken. It's gonna be broken for a bit.
You didn't want to fix it?
Oh! No.
Oh,
I had to get over here. More important things.
I see.
More important things. Hey, I don't think I'm gonna make it. Aha, but I made it right here. Am I going the right way? Yeah, cool.
I'm in the volcano.
We're gonna make it up there. We're gonna get there.
Volcano.
Wait, you said he had electricity pal or something? What does he have?
He has an electric pal. It's
Electric
a,
pal.
Can't remember what it's called.
That's
A
okay.
bitch is what it is. He's gonna be
Oh.
dead soon.
Oh!
Oh,
Almost fell.
well, it's an electric lizard.
A lizard. Oh. Good God, do we need to go up that? Yeah, we fucking do. We're on our way. On our way. Kind of running up this part, so that's kind of cool. Oh. Oh. Is there invisible stairs right there? What the fuck was that? Okay. Got good runs, good section. Armor damage, but when you look to see, it's the classic cartoon where it's just the back of the shorts is gone. Yep. I got no stamina. No stamina, no stamina.
A Relaxaurus effigy.
Oh,
What?
that's a new one.
Running, running. Oh boy, okay.
Why can't I see?
Open your eyes. You see sit on the cord again.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry. She's like, what are you doing?
He's so mad.
This man,
He's so mad
this
at me.
man came and moved me
Man came and pushed me from my spot. I attacked him.
with my gums. I attacked him.
I attacked him.
Cut to like a man being attacked by laundry lint.
Laundry lint.
Yeah, Loki's like one of those fluff balls.
Like a huge ball of lint. Right, I am up on the volcano.
I'm almost there, I think. I should have probably got a flying bird. Or flying anything, actually.
You don't need it.
Well, yeah, now I don't. I'm already halfway there.
Exactly.
Uh-oh, can I get to this spot? Please, please. Okay.
I believe in you.
As I just see your daydream. Now your big ass bird. Uh-oh. I'm gonna run out of stamina.
Probably should have climbed those rocks to your right.
I feel like they're just as high.
No, they're not. There's ledges you can get on.
Oh. Oh. Get there. Come on. Come on. Okay. Okay, let's get some stamina. Alright, up again. We climbing. Climbing. Fucking gonna beat this guy's ass as soon as we get there. Fuck this guy for having a tower all the way on the top of a fucking volcano. I'm gonna beat this guy's ass. Why?
We're gonna beat this guy's ass as soon as we climb this massive mountain.
As soon as I get there, I'm gonna fucking punch his face in. God. A waypoint.
Do you know what the crater of a volcano is called, TT?
The hole.
It's called a caldera.
A caldera hole.
Sure.
Oh, waypoint, thank God.
Man, the texture on this thing is kind of fucking trippy. It's got like 2 textures on it going in different directions.
It do. My shit just looks so light. I gotta fix it later.
I mean, is there a brightness option?
In the game?
Yeah, maybe. It's probably the shadows that's having some issues.
Oh, I don't know. Shadows. All my shit's set to medium.
Oh, there's brightness side here.
Mine's at 0.3.
Oh, that's brighter than I'm at 0.
I fucked up.
What do you mean you fucked up?
I pressed wrong.
You
What was
pressed
the other
wrong?
thing I pressed wrong? I didn't press Wong. Who's Wong?
From Doctor Strange.
Let me look at the fire. That was it. That 0.3%. That 0.3% was a lot.
Oh, 0.3% is 30%.
Yes. Anyway, look at my fish.
30% brighter.
Look at my fish.
Your fish is very lovely.
He's so cute. Look at me
His name is
pet
Chandler.
him. Look at me pet him. Ah! I love you.
I love you, dog.
I love you, fish. Ah, it's so cute. And he's happy. Go pet your Incineram. Yeah. Love. Have you seen my bird?
Yes, I've seen your bird.
Look at him shimmy.
Look at him go.
He's so happy to be alive. He's having a good time.
Palumba.
He's fast as fuck. What's good against lightning?
Ground.
Ground? I don't have a ground. Shit.
I also don't have a ground, but I have a feeling HERBIL will destroy this thing anyway.
Maybe.
I mean, I think we're like twice the level of it.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, it's like level 30.
Oh,
like 30.
shit. I fucking didn't know that.
We're much higher level than it.
What level am I? How do I look at that?
Yeah, it's level 30, and you are. Well, I can't see you because you're crouching.
Oh, I'm 44. Stop crouching.
You're sneaking.
I don't know why I'm doing that.
You're a higher level than I am.
Barely.
But that still means you are, though.
But not by much.
Yeah. 101 is still more than 100.
Okay, but not a lot.
But it still is.
But not a lot. It could have been way more. A katana.
I clung to the wall like Spider-Man.
What? Oh, I see.
Watch.
Yeah?
It's really funny.
Jesus Christ. Hi, Angel.
Hello.
Hello.
Didn't you hate that journey?
Not really.
Oh, okay. Fuck me, I guess. I'm the only one complaining.
I thought it was a fun adventure.
Not me. Fuck that. Let's kill this guy. Also, we all have purple pals.
We do. It's purple team.
Let's go.
This guy's gonna get killed so quick.
Good.
Good.
Oh my god, those eyes. It's like that meme.
Blue people with blue
People
eyes
with blue
be
eyes.
like,
Bing!
There's not that many guys.
God. His headlights are on. I can't fucking see.
Or sir,
okay,
that's what
it's not Garchomp.
Oh yeah, die. Purple, do something good. There you go, bud. Jesus.
Incineroar's behind some sort of lightning thing.
How dare he use the environment against us?
Moonracer, stop!
He's almost dead.
Wait. Erase him.
Hell yeah, fuck that guy. Making us fucking
Sphere of Sloth.
walk all the way up here.
Look at him. Look at his ragdoll. Huh.
He's T-posing on my end.
Look at Herbal's face.
He's rolling away.
There's no humanity behind those eyes. Ah, we did it.
It's certainly less volcanic up here.
Less volcanic?
Yeah, the air seems clearer up here.
Oh.
It's a lot of sulfur.
Probably smells like fart.
Probably. Alright, where's the tower on this side? Should I go north or should I go south?
Like the watchtower?
The tower for the map. It's east?
Yeah.
No, that's the other side. I want it on the west side.
Oh, it's go
Southwest.
yeah. It's
South?
that beach. Yeah. Southwest. Just go straight southwest. Like just go down that mountainside and you'll see it.
Oh, I see it.
There you go.
I see it from here already.
I haven't gone over there. I don't have that waypoint. Obsidian Trail. Which way is that? That way?
There's a not a totem, effigy over here.
Effigy. Don't have a fucking flying pal. Here I go.
Right, you know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? This will be fun.
You're gonna fucking slide down that shit? Don't die.
Yeehaw!
Don't die. Whoa, whoa. Herbal killed them. Get fucked. Herbal fucking destroyed that guy. Hello, how are you today? Hello. Fucking try and get over this fucking mountain. There we go. Great. Alright, Herbal. Look at him, he's just like a piece of fucking toast. Doing awesome? That's great. I'm doing alright. I'm sweating. I hate summer. Fucking
I'm doing alright. I'm sweating. I hate summer.
They said that they're doing awesome, and I'm like, I'm doing alright. I'm just dying. Casually dies.
I'm doing fine, but existence is pain.
But existence is pain. You're right. I think his name is a play on, herbs and gerbil.
Yeah, it's herb and gerbil.
Am I still going the right way? Oh. Yes?
He's a herbal gerbil.
Are you telling me I can't climb up this? Okay. We're good. Hydrate? I will. Let me get a drink. God, I love ice water. Okay. This was probably a terrible idea, given that I don't have much stamina left. Ooh. Ooh, we're alright. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Oh. Okay. Ooh. Okay, we're okay.
Really funny that the guy in the fucking tower is weaker than half his island.
Oh god.
Like everything
Yeah.
on the like west side is like
Ooh.
30 is like higher than level 30, and he's just level 30.
Yeah, I just fucking slammed my ass. Where are you from? Like, where was I born? What country am I in?
TT's from
My
Ireland,
state of
or she's a
mind?
leprechaun.
What? Excuse me? What did you fucking say?
I think he called you a leprechaun.
I can't believe you would say that about me. I am not a leprechaun.
What are you?
I may be wearing green, but I am not a leprechaun. I am unfortunately from the US. Unfortunately.
You're fortunately from the Americas, but you're unfortunately from the United States.
Yeah, there we go. That's actually a better description.
Like, the Americas are cool. The United States,
We love Canada, United States, and Mexico. The big cum.
the big cum.
The big cum. I just got crazy. You don't like us? I don't like things. I don't like the economy. I'll say that. Where the fuck is the waypoint? Uh-oh. Oh. Oh, herbal, stop! Alright, well, that thing's dead. I just want to be able to afford things.
I would like to afford things as well. It would be nice.
I'd like to have a nice place to live, a nice house. I'd like to be able to get a car. That'd be nice. God, I think about my parents when they were the age I am now, and fucking
And yeah.
They were fucking?
oh,
Damn.
yeah, they were fucking. Do you know how many brothers and sisters I have? They were fucking. Okay. Fucking 10 plus brothers and sisters. My parents were fucking. That's a big no, it's a doomud. It's a big ass doomud.
So much. Man, fucking do mud.
If I had a chance to control one country for a month, which country would I choose? Okay, but do I have to control the country well?
Am I the dictator, or am I, like, just the leader of it?
The
as,
president.
Because, like, the president supposed to not have ultimate power, but do I have ultimate power? Like president? Okay, so you're not really fully in charge.
Well, that one's dead. Oh no. I'd just say the country I'm in.
Whatever country you're in, so that you can just be in charge of it.
Yeah. Why are you guys angry? Herbal, get him. I don't know why they're so angry all of a sudden. Thank you, Herbal. Oh, die. I mean, I can't do worse than the current president. Or most before that, actually. Oh, I'd be the first female president.
You would.
Do you know how crazy that would be? I would do so much shit. I would make so many things go off the rails that no one would understand what's happening.
Go off the rails?
Yes, everyone must drive backwards.
What?
Now. No streetlights. Everyone go at once.
Everyone, like, your presidency is marked by a return of, like, the titles of ancient monarchs. You're forever known as TT the Mad.
TT the Mad would go hard, though. That's cool, though. Free bread for everyone. Street lights for no one. Every Wednesday, everyone must take a 3-hour break.
Please.
But when? You don't know.
Oh. Whenever I want.
Whenever you want.
Yeah. Rush hour comes at a fucking, like, restaurant. I'm going on break for 3 hours.
I'm going on break for 3. You clock in. I'm taking my
My
mandatory
3-hour
3-hour break.
I'll see you guys at 11.
There we go. It'll be illegal to be straight. No. You'll just have.
No. I'd do that.
You have to wear an anklet.
Whoa. No.
So that we know where all the streets are.
I think we know where the streets are.
Where are they?
Oh, open your eyes. You are straight.
This is true.
Where you're gonna say? Where are the streets?
You're a what?
I'm not all straights. I'm just one.
I'm not all of them. I am in fact just one.
I'm just one straight.
I'm just a singular one. Oh my god, this cat just jumped on me.
Wow. Blazehound killed our president.
TT the Mad murdered by a knocked out. Jeez. Oh, but we got it. We might get knocked down, but we get back up and we own that shit. Let's go.
His island is full of dangerous things.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
What gave it away?
Level 68.
President already dead in the starting of 11 minutes. Just dead immediately. Oh god, angry horse! Herbal, no!
Ian, what island are you on?
I'm on, Sandstone Gate Islet.
Anything good?
Prickster.
What the fuck is a prickster?
No idea. I'm gonna find it in the Palpedia. This is Prickster Lux.
Oh, my fucking pockets are full.
Which is like the electric one.
Oh my god, I'm getting my shit rocked. As Herbal just kills it. Oh no! I'm okay. We're fine. Okay, now I can check my inventory again. I don't need these bones right now. Or this grenade.
Prickster is like a scorpion man.
Oh, he looks cool though.
He's got a big grin on his face.
He's smiling. Alright, let's... Where the hell am I? Where...
Wait, are you telling me Sekhmet's idle pose is just...
It's just
like
dancing.
a little dance?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They knew what they were doing. What's up here? Alright, let's see. Oh, that cat didn't like that. Oh! It didn't like that either. Herbal, where are you going? Don't leave me! Oh! That fireball just barely missed me. Oh, there's an egg though. Oh, that ball did not work. I'm dead. Stupid cat. Ah! Alright, we go right back. Ooh, that island over. Oh, I could swim to that other island. The little teeny one. I have a fish. That way? No, that. Oh, is it even an island? It looks like a rock. Oh no, is that it? We gotta find out. Got to find out. Let's see, wait, where's fish? Let's go, buddy. Oh, there's a cat in the way. Wow, that shit just broke right out of the sphere. Great. Love that. Love that for me. There we go. We're gonna schmooze through this fucking water. Sleep tight, other ones. Don't mind us. Okay, I think it's just a fucking rock. No, I'm sad. It's like a little tiny thing. Why would they make a thing for it? Let's have a see what it is. It looks very weird because it looks like it's sticking up out of the water. And maybe it's covered in snow? Maybe? I can't tell what I'm looking at. What does that look like, Mia? What is that? Ice? Oh, the chicken is struggling with their task. What am I looking at? Is this just a fishing spot? How do I fish again? I know how to do this. Mr. President, you have two minutes to make a decision. Oh wait, you'll read my message after 3 minutes. So let's make it 4. Tell me, what would you choose? More jails or more schools? More schools! Is that even a question? Let's go. Boom. Alright. Take the bait. Take the bait. Oh. No! No, don't laser beam! Stop! Well, I think I killed all the other fish. Let's try again. Gonna cast. Oh, yeah, the education system is not great. Teachers aren't getting paid very well to, you know, basically raise other people's kids. Oh, why is it so fast? I fucked up. I guess this is just a fishing spot. This is a very interesting looking rock. Not really anything here. I can't seem to catch these fish because I'm doing an awful job. I'm not catching that shit. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, stop laser beaming! Boy howdy, this guy. Nope, stop. Maybe I can climb up it? Is there something up here, maybe? Oh. Maybe I can climb. There we go. Nice. Watch there be nothing up here. Except the satisfaction of climbing a rock.
Yep.
Oh, we're almost there. Yep. That's it. Hey, bud. What are you doing down there? There's an island over there. Oh, that's the one Ian's at. Okay, we can go over to that one. Come on, fishy. Let's go. Woo! Right into the water. So fucking fast. Fast as fuck. See, kids' screen time isn't something that needs to be handled at school. That's something that needs to be handled at home. That's parenting. It's the same thing as like the new fucking Toy Story movie. What do you mean she's being bullied, cyberbullied? What do you mean you gave your child a tablet where there's a comment section and all this other shit? What? What do you mean? I mean, it's one thing to be, I don't know, a little kid on the playground being bullied. It's another handing your child a tablet where you can communicate with other people. That's weird. That's questionable parenting to me. Because what, that little girl was like, what, 6? 5 or 6 in that movie? Crazy. Crazy. Alright. Where is the entrance? Oh, you're level 66. Please don't leave my fish alone. Oh, there's a scorpion, dudes. They look neat. Look at their little feet. Oh, okay. Where is the fucking waypoint? On the other side. Let's get in the water. Get in the water. Oh, okay. Let's get the hell away from there. Alright. Hello? We're just passing through. Just passing through! Oh, God. Oh. Oh. Ian, I'm sorry.
What?
Oh, he killed my fish!
I can't believe you brought these things to me.
They were right next to you, and I just happened to go by to get the waypoint.
Anyway, I left.
Thanks.
There's no way we're beating him. They're like
Thank
20
you.
levels higher than me.
When you try your best, but you don't succeed. Can I fast travel?
Hold on.
Do not. It's danger. Oh, okay.
I am the danger.
Oh, are you? Because they're standing over my corpse.
It's fine, I'm gonna sneak.
Yeah? How the fuck did that work? You're shitting me right now.
I'm very stealthy.
It's the cowboy hat.
Yeah, you're right.
Great, let's fucking get out of here. One of my pals is struggling with the base.
Yeah.
I hope he isn't stuck. Alright. Starving? What? What is happening? Why are you starving? What is going on? Where's the food box? How are you starving? Oh no! Where did all the food go?
Do you have some logistical issues?
There's no way they ate through all that. Jesus Christ.
Hungry boys.
Good lord. Oh, we're almost done with it. Fuck. This cake, god. Give me the carbonara. These are the lamb bowls. We can cook that up quick. Let me put this in the food box. I don't know who ate all the fucking food. Carbonara in there. Can I make something with these carrots? Why can I not access this? The meat just fell out. I can make French fries. How many French fries? I can only make 7 of those. Some gratin. Some bread. I guess we'll make some grilled lamb bowl. Get that going. Where's the potatoes? Where's the potatoes? Why is there honey in here? How did that get in there? Where are the potatoes stored? What? So confused. So where that went? Oh, there's quite a few Mimogs now.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's enough slices.
Oh boy.
There's a lot of Mimogs in there.
Look at all them.
All those in there. Alright. That food cooking. Great, it's done. Rotten has good sanity, so that'll be good for them. Oh, they're upset. Oh, man.
So, I think what you're struggling with is they can't eat like small portions. So every time they come and eat, they're taking 1 out of here per pal, right?
I don't know, before I had like hundreds, but it was suddenly empty.
Well, you have
This is what I've just made and started putting in there. Oh, that cake's done, thank God.
16 pals if they're eating like 2 or 3 times a day. After a few days, it's gonna make a big chunk. But yeah, that is a lot.
And none of them, I made sure none of them have like, was one of the perks that makes them like eat way more than they need to.
Glutton?
I think so, yeah.
Well, I mean, one of the Mimogs does.
One of my Mimogs does?
Yeah.
But it's in the breeding pen. They don't leave the pen.
They still eat though.
Yeah, they still
Ah,
eat.
fuck.
Tried I replaced him with a different one.
A positive thinker.
He's a positive thinker. That one with a bottomless stomach, I'll juice.
You put a boy in there.
Oh. Well. You know.
Can you put a girl in there?
Yeah, let me go hatch some eggs.
Okay.
My inventory's full.
Of course you can join the Discord. Exclamation Discord in chat. Hey buddy, you doing okay? You alright? The chickpea is very stressed out, apparently. What is going on? You know what? Let me build another... Let me build the big spa. Where is the big spa? It's not production. Infrastructure? Yeah, okay. There we go. I put my fucking fishing rod away. There we go. Maybe this fancy little bath will make it feel better. What happened to my model? Why are you broken? 5 V2 Studio, why? I don't know why I'm having such issues. It's lagging again. God. Why? Why? I don't understand. There you go. I might have to troubleshoot this tomorrow. Oh my gosh, almost going 4 hours again. Maybe I should wrap up stream here.
Maybe.
Fuck. It's been an eventful stream, I think. I've been attacked by quite a few pals, built some bases up, fucking beat that guy's ass in a matter of seconds. Yeah. I think this is a good place to end. I'm lagging. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me... Oh god. Oh. Oh. Well. Why am I so... What? Where... What screen am I on? Nope, that's not it. I'm moving something. Don't know what I'm moving. There we go. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream.
I enjoyed today's stream.
I'm glad. Good, good. Stuff is borked, but I'll fix it. Maybe, probably, some point. Soon.
Yes.
I need to fix. I need to fix the. Well, I need to add more. Redeemed vocal stems. That's what it was. I have new ones, and I need to hear them. Like cooms, you say? Coom. I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening. I hope you come back and see me again real soon. I'll be streaming tomorrow. I don't know what I'm streaming yet tomorrow. We'll see. But I'm gonna go make dinner. So, good night, everyone.